Today the two websites we're going to be looking over are AlgebraLab.org and KhanAcademy.org. So the first one we're going to start with is AlgebraLab.org. This one here is based solely for math. So what it can do is you can actually go through, this is the table of contents page. If you go back, let's see how I can get to the home page. I might not be able to get to it from here. That's all right. Main things you can actually do is just go to the lessons here at the top, click it. It'll bring you up a table, or it'll bring up the same table of contents that it had. You can actually scroll through and look for the topic that you're covering in your math class at that time. So let's say you're going over complex numbers, for instance. It actually brings up a couple of subcategories for you to look over. Pick the one closest to what you're covering in your class. It'll actually give you a lesson over what you're wanting to find out for your math class. And it'll even give you examples for you to look into, all that kind of stuff, multiplication of complex numbers. You can scroll through, gives you examples, things you can look over, stuff like that. And then if you decide you're ready to go practice this, there is a button up here at the top that's called Practice. You can scroll through, look for the same category. Some of them are all in here, some of them are not. And then you can just hit the first list of practice questions. It'll bring up general questions for you to go over. Once you're done with them, you can just, I'm going to type in some random answers here. None of them are going to be right, but we're just going to kind of go with it. You can check your answers. And then if you get it wrong or get it right, it'll pop up with what the answer should be. Just here under the answer the question you put, or what your answer was. One of the things it does not show is it actually doesn't show step-by-step instructions on how to complete the problem, which is okay. I wish it did show you that, but it doesn't. It would be something great if they were to change that for you. But it is still great practice for you to go through and do some of these problems. And for a teacher to assign these in class would be fantastic. If their students were in a computer lab or had iPads, they could go to this website and just practice it in class while the teacher watched, and the teacher would be able to help in case the students got stuck and all that kind of stuff. Some of these practice pages will have a link back to what the general info was, so that if you do get stuck, you can actually link back into the lesson and go back through it again, and then go and find the practice problems again and try and go back through them. One of the other things it does is there actually is a careers button, so if you wanted to find out certain careers with some that required algebra in it, you can actually go through and we can go to accountants, and it'll actually give you a basic description of that job. It'll give you salary, all that kind of stuff, and then the math required in that job, which I think is actually great in case someone was very interested in the math field and was planning on continuing math much more in college. They'd be able to find out what careers they might be interested in pursuing. It does have study aids and all that kind of stuff for the different categories of math that they were going over in class. And then word problems, all that kind of stuff for students to practice with, and have teachers can have their students practice with in class if necessary. The next website we're going to go over is Khan Academy. So there's actually multiple things you can do with Khan Academy, and I actually really like this website. I think it's great for students to use to practice and for teachers to actually assign lessons in. For teachers to assign lessons, they actually have to sign up with a teacher account, which I'm not going to do for you guys here. But they can log in with Google, all that stuff, and they can actually find their students in there, and they can set up lessons for them to go over. And one of the main things Khan Academy allows a teacher to do is actually track the student's progress. And I can actually show you guys that here by going into the student account. It'll allow the student to track their own progress as well. So I'm going to sign in with my own Google account. And one of the main things it does, if you have never signed into Khan Academy before, it'll actually have you set up your profile and give you a little icon like this up here. I chose the Triceratops pterodactyl thing. I mean, you don't have to choose the same one. There's multiple different shapes and options like that. And then it just brings you up to the home screen. So it actually shows you what you've progressed in. So I have looked over Algebra 1 and stuff, doing other videos. It'll show you what skills you've actually completed in that specific course. So what you can do is you can actually go up to the subjects bar, click it, It'll actually bring you all the subjects Khan Academy offers you to go practice with. And one of my favorite things about the website is actually allows you to do test prep. So if you actually have that SAT coming up in high school, you're able to come to Khan Academy and actually practice questions that might possibly be on the SAT or very similar to what would be on the SAT. And it does allow MCAT and all that other kind of tests in case you're trying to cover those as well. Then you can scroll through and look for different courses. For example, if you're in science, you can actually look through biology and organic chemistry and all that kind of stuff. Today we're going to cover math because that's the subject I plan on going into. And you can just go through and look yourself. So if let's say you've got that big test coming up in your high school calculus class over differential calculus, you can actually go in here and complete some lessons and assignments to get practice with that before your exam. Or if a teacher wants, she can actually assign you, he or she can actually assign you lessons and stuff to practice with in class, outside of class, in those different lessons, so long as the teacher and you have connected on Khan Academy. So we're going to go through and we're going to go ahead and do something really simple so that I can actually answer questions and show you guys how all this stuff kind of works. We're going to do 3rd grade math. It's going to be pretty simple. You guys probably should have, you guys will have seen this before. It'll give you a little description of what you should be covering, stuff like that. Little sort of a kind of preppy thing over on the left. And then over on the right, it'll actually show you subjects that you should be going through in 3rd grade, that 3rd grade area, stuff you should be mastering and all that kind of thing. And we're going to just go ahead and we're going to do addition and subtraction. It'll show you 3rd grade warm-ups, and then it'll actually give you a list of what you should be doing in that course. So different lessons that you should generally be covering in 3rd grade, and it'll give you a little practice. We're going ahead and we're going to do adding 3-digit numbers. It'll pop up. What I love about Khan Academy is all these lessons, or at least most of them, pop up with a video for you to watch. So in case you're one of those visual learners and auditory learners, you're actually able to go through and watch a video that might help you. And then it also allows you, on this lesson it doesn't, but you kind of skip through and check. See, this one offers a video also. There we go. It allows a practice this concept here, which this is my favorite part of Khan Academy. I think it's amazing. If you decide you're ready, you can actually practice what is being taught to you, and it'll give you practice problems that you're able to cover in that'll let you practice what you should be learning in class. And I love this part of Khan Academy. I think it's amazing. What it generally requires, it requires you to get 3 correct answers in a row before it actually lets you finish that lesson. And even then, it still requires you to practice more before you actually master a technique or master a skill. So for example, right here, I'll show you what it's like if you get an answer wrong. So let's say the answer is 6. Clearly, that's not right. Check the answer. It actually pops up here with a little X indicating that you got the answer wrong. It even offers you hints to what the answer might be. So it shows you the grouping, the adding the numbers together, all that kind of stuff. Show the last hint. It's generally 4 hints per problem. It'll give you the answer itself. If you do hit the hint button, I don't believe it allows you to get the answer right. I'm not exactly sure. I can actually check that here. You get the answer correct, but it doesn't not count it as one of the ones you got correct in a row. So continue. So we get to this next problem. Let's go ahead and look through it. So it would be, looks like 484. It'd be very embarrassing if I got one of these wrong, but that's all right. Check the answer. It actually gives you a little sound, and it pops up with the green arrow and a little smiley face indicating that you got that answer right. Then you continue on. So let's say, so this would be 991, it looks like. Check answer, got another one correct. It pops up with another green check mark, and then you continue on to the next problem. This one looks like it would be 400, that'd be a 6, carry the 1, 9, 4, 446. Check the answer, you get the last one right, and then it shows you points you've earned for completing that lesson, gives you a little music, it gives you total energy points, and it adds into this total score that you have as you continue to practice this skill over and over and over again. Eventually, you'll get to a mastered, which is what everyone wants to work towards in their lessons and all that kind of stuff. So it actually has this little box down here that allows you to practice the concept again. If you feel like you want to keep going to get that mastery, you can, or just level up and all that kind of stuff. Other than that, you can go and click the home button. It'll take you back to the home. Here it'll show you what you've been working on, how many skills you've completed in a particular lesson, all that kind of stuff. And then you can actually go to your profile, and it shows you what badges you've earned, what you've been covering recently in Khan Academy, badge counts, how many days you've been on Khan Academy in a row, projects that teachers have actually assigned you, and projects you've completed. As I mentioned earlier, teachers are actually able to connect with their students on Khan Academy and give them lessons and certain things to do, so that teachers are able to track their own students' progress in class, make sure they're doing the work they're being assigned, and making sure they're practicing these techniques for exams and all that stuff in the class setting. And then there's also a little discussion page down here at the bottom. You can go to badges. These are just badges you've earned. It looks like I might have earned one. I'm not really sure. But I shouldn't have earned any other badges. Progress, it shows you the progress you've completed in certain skills. So right now, I have 1,000 skills I haven't started. That's because I just got on Khan Academy and I haven't been using it. I've practiced 5 skills and I actually haven't mastered any because I just haven't gone through the skills enough times to get that mastery done. Then here's the discussion page you can look through if you have questions you want to ask and get answers for. Projects teachers have assigned you can get in touch with your teacher. Coaches, I believe the coaches is mainly just kind of the teacher part. Again, you can also get in touch with your parent. So if the parent wants to make an account and get in touch with you to track the student's progress, they are able to do that as well. And that is actually really about it with Khan Academy. If you want to go through, kind of look through it more yourself with the videos and all that kind of things, you can. Other than that, that is just kind of the basic walkthrough of each of these websites. I believe these websites are very useful. I think they should all be both be used in a classroom setting for teachers to be able to get their students to practice these techniques and concepts. It's stuff teachers can assign in class, outside of class. I think it would be great if teachers were to assign it in class and then help their students out and stuff like that. They could use the Khan Academy videos in their lessons to help students, or assign the Khan Academy video outside of class for students to watch before coming. There's so many opportunities teachers can use these different websites in class with their students to help their students do better in their subject. Other than that, I believe that is all. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope this helped you out a lot. And I hope you guys find a use for Khan Academy or AlgebraLab in your own classrooms.